Shawn Porter would be a terrific fight. You know, he stands and fights every single time he gets in the ring. He's in exciting fights every single time. I think the fans would love a fight like that. You know, Keith, same thing. Keith is there to fight. You know, and he's been a champion, unified champion, and I think that would be a terrific fight for the fans to watch. Like I said, I'm open to fighting anybody.
Mike, I think it's interesting, and I think it goes to show your character, because not many people are lining up to fight Shawn Porter, because stylistically he is rather difficult to deal with inside the ring. So I think it's a testament to the fact that you literally want to fight anybody. And what you just told me, it sounds like you are open to a fight with Crawford if personal politics can be set aside. Is that correct?
Look, we would definitely be able to fight Crawford. I would love to fight Crawford. Bob always says that I'm too difficult to negotiate, that I'm asking for a lot of money, that I'd be asking for way too much money, you know, to negotiate. I'll ask him, when has he ever spoken to me about a fight? Never. Zero. When have we ever discussed a fight? Zero. Not since 2013, 2014. Not since then. So I don't know what he's saying when he says that I am asking for too much money. You know, maybe his people are telling him that. Maybe his workers or his employees are telling him that I'm too difficult. Maybe that's what's going on. Maybe he's not getting the right information. But I never sat or discussed anything with Bob Arum regarding a possible fight with either one of his fighters, either with Crawford or with Lomachenko. But he always says that I'm asking for, you know, numbers outside of this stratosphere, which is completely, you know, a lie. I've never discussed any of these fights with anybody in Top Rank. Not a single time. So
it's all been through the media, that it's all this hearsay that is going on, for what it sounds like, Mikey.
Look, I would fight anybody. If he invited me, or if I invite him over to discuss a potential fight with Crawford, I'm more than happy to do so. And if we can get the figures and do the accounting the right way, with no one being greedy, then we have a fight, you know. But I also understand the way business is run, and the way he runs his business, you know, is very different than the way I would like to run that fight, you know. So it just probably wouldn't happen, you know. It's one of those things where why chase something that it's probably not going to happen. So if I have other options with like we mentioned, Shawn or Keith or Danny or Manny or Errol Spence or any of the other guys, you know, I'm more likely to do this, you know.
Do you think that those fights would be pay-per-view fights, Mikey, or would you like to fight Shawn Porter on, let's say, you know, Big Fox or Showtime? Was that something that would potentially interest you based on the numbers that you are, you know, possibly looking at?
I think all of these fights will be huge fights, because all of these fighters have already become champions more than once. You know, all these fighters have been champions multiple times or in multiple divisions, and so have I. So I think these fights, all of these fights, will be huge fights, especially because of people just want to see the best fighting the best. You know, Danny already fought Keith and already fought Shawn. You know, Manny fought Keith.
Yep.
Shawn Porter, you know, fought Keith. I think we're in the mix, you know, makes for bigger fights. Mm-hmm. You know, and I'm the only one that they haven't fought. You know, so I'm sure the fans would love to see me in the ring with all of these guys.
Mikey, with the way that the world is right now, with the coronavirus, you know, striking all over the world, and we see that thousands are dying, and our thoughts and prayers are with anyone who has been affected or has a family member or a friend that's been affected in any way, shape, and form by the coronavirus. But what are your thoughts on potentially fighting in empty arenas? Is that something that you've thought of? Because the way that sports is going to move forward, at least for the short term, it appears as if we are going to see no fans in stadiums or arenas. What's your take on fighting with no fans in the arena?
Look, initially I'm not very excited for a venue like that or that scenario where we're in an indoor studio or warehouse or whatever it may be. I'm not so excited for that. Honestly, I love the fans. I love the crowd. In fact, the most special moment of the whole event is the ring walk. At least it is for me. The ring walk, hearing the music play with all the fans getting up and cheering me on. That's emotional. That brings, tears to my eyes sometimes. Mm-hmm. That's the best feeling, So I don't know how it would be fighting in an arena without any fans or very limited people around, only like the people working the event. It's just one of those different scenarios where I don't know how I'm going to take, but I'm willing to give it a try. I'm not just going to retire. That's what we have to do to get in the ring. And in order for me to grow my legacy and, leave my mark in boxing, then I'm willing to do it. I'll probably, I probably won't like it, but I'm willing to do it if that's what it's going to take. And I think if this whole virus doesn't go away and we're not able to secure, the vaccines or the medication needed, then we're going to have to move on with scenarios like this, indoor studio type of scenarios where it's just broadcasted instead of live attendance. It's going to change. It's going to be different. But, it may be one of those things where, that's the only thing to do. We can't do anything else. I also don't want to retire. I don't have plans to retire, and I didn't want to retire. So I'll definitely fight.
And you're still 32 years of age, Mikey. And do you want to get, if let's say boxing's back June, July, at the latest, hopefully no later than August, but do you want to get, one more in, even if, let's say, there are no fans throughout the remainder of the year? Do you want to get one more in before that, or would you rather sit back and wait and see if things change towards 2021?
No, I definitely want to be back, especially if things start to look better, with the COVID virus. Even if it is an indoor fight like that in a studio or warehouse or whatever it may be, I want to come back. I want to be able to come back and look for the bigger fights, after that. Like I said, I'm not ready to retire. I want to push hard. I want to, accomplish a lot more. And I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to fight in an arena like that. Like I said, it's not my first choice. It's not what I would prefer. But if that's what it takes, and that's what's going to have to happen.
Mikey, you're a very proud family man. You mentioned the fact that your daughter just turned 13. You obviously, your brother and your father have accomplished so much along with you. How much have they influenced you and been such a key component to what Mikey Garcia is and has done? I mean, you've been around prize fighting, I feel like, since you were born.
Well, I just grew up in it with my brother and my dad, being the first ones there. I grew up in the sport, and, I think I've learned a lot, obviously, from them. But what I've learned the most is the family values. My dad and my mom instilled that, because that's what I saw. That's what I grew up seeing. I remember growing up, and everybody gathering around the living room to watch, boxing fights on TV, pay-per-view, or, whether it was Chavez or Oscar or whoever it was, So we grew up, with boxing in our lifestyle, but I learned the most of family's, values from my mom and my dad. And as I grew and as I started my own family, I kept that, obviously. And the boxing, lifestyle in the gym with my dad and my brother are one, but family, outside of the ring, outside of the gym, it's different. We separate the two. When we're in the gym, we're doing our job. That's our job. And my dad and my brother will be there, to push me to do what I got to do. They're not babying me because I'm their brother or because I'm their kid. They're not going to treat me special just because I'm family. They're going to push me to do what I got to do. And I totally understand that, and when we are not in the gym, when we're at home, then we can hang out and have laughs and, have a fun time, but we're able to, separate the two. But it's just terrific. I wouldn't change it for anything else. It's great to have family, in your corner, because they also will take care of you the best. They know me better than anybody else. And that's how we see everybody in the gym. We all see each other like family. Even though we're only friends with some of the other boxers, we're friends. But in the gym, we're all a family. That's why we support each other. All the fighters that are in my brother's gym, we support each other. We go to each other's fights. We congratulate each other. We wish each other well. We're a family. We hang out, outside of the gym. We welcome everybody like family, because that's what really strengthens, our relationships and helps each other, push and motivate, each other the most. We see each other. We don't want to let someone, be better than us. So it's a friendly competition.
I also saw, Mikey, that you dabbled into being a boxing promoter. What is that like, and being able to, stick your foot in the water when it comes to being a promoter and not just the fighter?
Look, it's not easy. It takes a lot of time, patience. But I enjoy it. I like it because I'm also helping other fighters develop their careers, build their records, just like I did, early when I first started. You have to start from zero. So if I'm able to help a fighter develop a winning record, maybe give him an opportunity to get on a bigger platform and take a chance and win something big and move on, in the ladder, then that makes me happy. That I'm also using my own, leverage and platform connection relationships to help others. I'm only going to box for X number of years, but if I can continue helping other fighters, I'm going to be in boxing for the rest of my life, and I'll have so much pleasure and satisfaction knowing that I helped, all these fighters, reach their goals, reach their highest potential. And that's what it's about for me, being a promoter. I'm not doing it for the money. There's no money right now, not at the level that we are. Honestly, there isn't. Yeah. People think that we're making money or that every promoter is going to make money just because they see a good show. That doesn't turn or translate to dollar bills. I'm not doing it for the money. I'm doing it to help the fighters. I'm doing it to help the kid get an opportunity to grow and maybe get showcased on a TV fight, and then he can make some money. Not even me, it's for them. So it's fun for that reason, and it feels good to be able to help.
How much longer do you see yourself fighting as a boxer? There are different things that fighters say when they're, some guys say, hey, I want to fight till I'm 35. Other guys say, until I can't compete at this level. Do you have a number in your head where you say, okay, by this age, I am done, or I have 2 or 3 years left, assuming I'm healthy? Do you have a number like that in your mind as to how long you want to continue fighting?
Look, I did earlier. When I first started my professional career, I had a number. I figured at age 30, I would probably be ready to retire. Had I not taken the time off, then I probably would have retired, between 30 and 32. But being that I did take the time off, now all that has changed. I'm 32, and I feel like I'm hitting my prime. So I'm definitely not going to retire anytime soon. I think, me personally, I will keep fighting minimum 3 to 5 years. However, if things change and I'm unhealthy or I get injured or whatever, then, we got to, call it quits. But if I'm healthy and I'm physically fit to keep fighting and competing at this level, then I'll definitely be fighting for at least 3 to 5 years. Like I said, there's so much more I want to accomplish, and I don't see me retiring anytime soon. Like, if I'm healthy, for all this time, I'm gonna do this for a long time. I want to leave a big legacy. I want to be leave a big impression in boxing. I want to be remembered. I want my name to be remembered among the greatest. To do it.
So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.